I made a, writings here to explain the money. If you have a question, you just ask me a question too after I finish. Because first I'm going to explain, then I'm going to say what they said, mobilizing structure. What is that?
So why don't we start out with a greeting to everybody?
Yeah. Do I start greeting?
Yeah, I'm not the one on camera. You are.
Oh, you're not in camera? I'm the camera? Okay. Hi, everybody. I've decided to discuss the money structure the way I was told from the extraterrestrials and the higher consciousness. Because one day I was sitting in my room and we were discussing how I will, basically present my work to people, and they explained to me, all of them came in, and of course telepathically I hear all the time, and they did say that in no circumstances I should charge people any price, but I can let people decide if they wish to donate it for my time. And of course, I asked the question why. It was very confusing to me. Why would I end up doing that when I also go through the monetary system like everybody else? At that time, I didn't know completely everything about the quantum structure, how you can manifest and how you can do stuff. But they start teaching me step by step. And I think that it's fundamental for us to understand what they said and how they explained to me the money structure through the quantum field, because then you're going to know exactly why I actually wanted to do it this way and why I continue working in that manner. For everybody, because I understood how everything is moving through the quantum field, how you manifest in everything. And I end up, now you can use it or you cannot use this knowledge, depends how you want to wish to do. It's not judgment if you continue. I will also explain why it's better way to do it this way, because the quantum structure is like a map. Once I present that to you, there is no doubt that if you really listen to carefully, you will understand that it's probably fundamental for you to choose to continue your journey through ascension this way. And I just want to remind you that I'm going to just say a couple of structures in the beginning until I get to the quantum structure. And the first one is that you are made from sound and light. When the sound and light is combining into Trinity structure, becomes a plasma and gravitational field. When this plasma and gravitational field that is made from these light sound structures lowers the vibration, becomes a matter. And that matter actually is the one that is creating us. This is just put in a simple way. If you want to watch more of that, please watch Marina Jacobi with, again, co-host Joe Pena, Quantum Manifestation. I talk a lot about how this is working. And when since you're made from the structure of the quantum field, you are the structure, you're projecting a hologram, you are the universe, you are God, you are. Basically, that's what the structure is. And that means every thought, every emotion, every momentum, you're actually co-creating and reprinting another reality. It becomes a parallel reality. In each parallel reality, if you hold that vibration, becomes a timeline of different parallel realities, and that is to infinity number. So when they came to me and they said that to me, the first question was, why do I need to do that? And the answer was because in the quantum field, everything is a sound, vibration, and light. And if I end up giving a condition, and what is condition? Condition, basically every emotion that we have and every thought that you have has a specific frequency in mantra and sound. the frequency could be 1.3 something into the billions, or whatever that is, has a specific frequency. Since you are the structure, you're projecting, you're actually giving that particular frequency of structure into the quantum field, but is a condition, a specific code that you want to manifest. So if you go ahead, they told me, and you tell people that, for example, in order for them to talk to you or whatever is, for example, $300 or whatever that amount is, they said it's a specific code that you're giving into the quantum field that you are made of. In turn, the only way for you to have abundance is going to be through the monetary system, because you're projecting the frequency and the sound of conditioning through the money only. And this is the reason why everything else that you need to perceive in life and receive in life has to be through synchronicity, that you have to pay, you have to go and find a job. In actuality, in the quantum field, you can manifest through realities and synchronicity everything that you need that is not necessary has to come through the money. So basically they said you open up the entire field to work for you with to infinity probabilities of how you can get something that you need. And you're not crystallizing only the quantum structure of the money, because that is also a reality. Basically, more you do, and more you do it this way, and you not do it through the heart, basically just forgive it, you will create moment to moment to moment, and you're going to crystallize reality for yourself, which is a timeline that the only way you can have something is for you to pay for something. In actuality, you can manifest it. And why is that? Because consciousness itself is based on, and I made a hologram here, consciousness itself is based on the structure of love. Basically, the heart structure. The heart structure is the highest consciousness can possibly be. And in this structure, you do not have, of course, everything is sound and light, but it's not dense. The structure of the money is specific frequency that becomes through conditioning. When you give from the heart, you don't give any condition. It's just an open structure, to the point that whatever, then you give the people that come to you to choose whatever they wish to give you or not. In turn, you're starting to vibrate in the structure. So if consciousness itself is based in a higher order of the heart structure, which is specific vibrational sound, has frequency and has a mantra, has a code of whatever the code is of numbers, you know, if you don't vibrate on that and put a condition through the money, because that's what you ask, you're creating a timeline that the only way you perceive something is through the structure of the money. Basically, anybody that comes to you, you're going to have to pay for something, or you're going to have to go and work, except for you to synchronicity somebody to donate, or you go out and there's a situation that somebody just gave you a gift and you literally furnish your whole home. And this is what was happening to me. I said millions of times that through vibrational sequence and the way you vibrate is that what you're projecting in the field. So that's how, for example, I was donated a car, but you didn't see me charging everybody specific amount of money to get that car. That is because I was using the structure. And when you know that the other thing that we need to pay attention to is the fact that through ascension process, the new frequencies that are coming from consciousness itself, they're very high on vibration, and they're matching, they're downloading the heart frequency, very high frequency. But in order for you to see this type of reality, you have to be the frequency of that reality. So your deeds, your emotion, and everything you do towards people has to be of the frequency of the heart in order for you to match this timeline, in order for you to start shifting and crystallizing the timeline for absolute abundance. The abundance could be completely no monetary system, could be all of a sudden extraterrestrials are coming, they build a city and they help us through it. In order to do that, you have to be the abundance yourself. And this is the reason why they were telling me it's so fundamental, because when the new energies are coming and they're increasing the frequency, more and more you start giving a condition through the monetary system, more and more you're dropping down and you're not seeing the timeline that is basically based on absolute abundance. And that is because you're not being punished or condemned or anything like this. Is simply a matter of quantum physics. It's simply a matter of you projecting a conditioning frequency. And this is the reason why you're not seeing the timeline of frequency that is based on absolute abundance, because you are not the abundance yourself towards others. In actuality, consciousness itself is complete abundance. And when you're not matching this, and when you give only condition, this is how you end up with the situations that all of a sudden you're going to see a lot of situations that you're going to have challenges. Except for you to get something, you're going to see that for everything you do, whatever you turn around, somebody's going to ask for something. That's because you end up projecting and creating a hologram of reality for yourself based on the structure of the monetary system. And you're wondering what's happening to humanity and why is people are not changing and doing something. That's because you didn't hold that particular vibration and you didn't project that reality for yourself. Remember, is nobody outside of you. You're projecting moment to moment to moment, completing your hologram with you mimicking the people in your consciousness. You're recalling frequency vibration that is based on that. So this is about the money. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know it's challenging. Again, there's no judgment. I had somebody that came for a session and told me, I would like to apply your way of how you work. And I said, okay, what can we do? So the guidance, and I'm quoting, ended up telling her, she was the provider of the family. So I know you have to, in order to see the frequency of reality of complete abundance, you have to let go of the illusion that you need money in order to get something. In a quantum field, you simply can manifest something right in front of you. But in order to do that, you got to let go of the belief system, which you're letting go of the frequency, basically. You have to let go of the frequency of the belief system that you have to have the money in order to get something. And to do that, you have to practice it. And that is the challenge with most of the people that I see. It's very challenging because every single day we're bombarded with the different things. And so she was the provider, and they told her, okay, after you pay your bills, you go to work and you pay your bills. After you come home, start doing whatever is the most exciting thing for you, and you hold that vibration, you start giving from your heart, non-stop, whatever the situation is, start giving without expectations. So you give a balance in the structure. So all the quantum field is open for you to perceive and receive everything the way you gave off to somebody else. And little by little, you're going to start crystallizing the abundance frequency because it's through your heart. And you're going to override the monetary frequency that you're doing because it's your highest passion, what you're doing. So little by little, all that monetary, all of a sudden you may have a situation that somebody's going to say, if, for example, you're doing some kind of a painting job and you like to create, or you're making handbags of some kind of a, things that you like, except for you charging money, somebody can say to you, oh my God, I love your material. I love your art. How about I have a gallery? Here is this. It's all for free. I'm going to sponsor you. And all of a sudden, you're going to start doing your work. And yes, you may receive money because you don't reject the structure of the money, but it's integrated through the heart structure where somebody finds you and gave you everything you need, except you continue charging people money. Because some people think that they have to charge everybody so much money in order for them to buy themselves a facility or a land. And what they told me, that's a pure illusion. What you're doing is you're crystallizing monetary system, and the only way for you to perceive this land because you gave specific code into the quantum field that you are made of and projecting, that the only way you can have this lamp is somebody for you to charge people. And in actuality, you can have somebody call you and literally say, I absolutely love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. Here's $1 million. Buy this facility, control everything. And that's how you can end up, again, yes, if somebody comes and say, here's $1 million, Marina, I want you to do that, what I'm going to say, no, I'm still living, I'm still going from the structure, but they ask for it. I simply did my job of the best of my abilities. Why is that? Because I want to be the frequency and create a timeline for myself and project it for myself and shift myself into a timeline that is based on abundance. Now, is that abundance going to come through money, or is going to come through somebody giving me a donation through maybe a car or maybe furnishing? This is exactly what happened to me. It doesn't matter, because I'm leaving the entire quantum field to work for me and give me the probabilities that I will receive whatever I need without giving a condition. And that is the challenge, to let go and not give a condition, because the condition is actually giving you very narrow spec of the entire field. And then you're limiting yourself. You absolutely, literally limiting yourself. Why do you want to limit yourself? When consciousness itself is to infinity and limitless. It's limitless. So why are you putting that structure on yourself? Once you know that, trying to implement your passion day by day, whatever the job you're doing, that's fine. But you can continue to do your passion after that, and all of a sudden, everything that you need to do is there for you. The way they told me not to drop my emotion, not to drop my frequency. If I see that I don't have money in the bank, they said it's absolute illusion, because whatever I need, I can start projecting my positivity. And I talk a lot about this in a quantum manifestation, Marina Jacobi quantum manifestation that I did with Joanna, how I manifested all that. It came from money, it came from donations, it came from somebody simply gave me a gift. And you can project that, because if you reject the money completely, this is not part of the structure itself. Because unity is everything. I'm not rejecting it. I'm accepting. If I get it, I'm accepted. But I'm not limiting myself that everything I want and everything I need to come only through the money. It's very narrow path that you're going to. Why not open up your heart and receive everything that is out there? So that's what it is. Any questions?
Marina, I think what you did was help me better understand the motivation behind operating in this way that you're proposing. Operating through money is a narrow way to operate. There are other ways, a narrow path. There are other ways to operate through life, and you're describing an alternative for us, yeah?
Alternative, that doesn't mean that you're being judged on it, but because I have to be honest, that doesn't mean sometimes it doesn't hurt me when I see what we're doing to each other, because once you put a condition and people cannot come to you and receive your services because it's been given to you from the higher order, or it could be a doctor, could be anything, then you actually rejecting part of consciousness. You are actually rejecting yourself, and you're rejecting the structure that you made of. So in turn, you will be in condition and you will be rejected, maybe not through somebody else, but through some situation. Remember, you are projecting everything out of self, and the structure is literally mimicking whatever you do on a daily basis. Everything you do, you have to think through frequency, sound, and vibration. You have to think that you're a hologram, and whatever you do, you're projecting it in the next moment. Your reality is accordingly to that vibration that you're giving off in the first place. I had situations that that literally my son, and I think I talk about it, but since we talk about the money, of course, I have to give examples. My son needed to go to school and was literally nothing in the house. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I need money. And at this particular situation, I need money, right? So I literally thought of, and I got an image in my thought of money. And I knew exactly where to go. I lift up the box and I see $1. Right underneath the $1, there was a $10. They look like a brand new. So this, if you know the quantum structure, the way I'm teaching all the time, the way they taught me, I literally shifted myself and projected a reality that I can get exactly what I needed. No more and no less. So if we learn to do that, and even I know this stuff, even I have challenges sometimes to, when people come to me, it's always in the back of your mind, money and family, but you have to let go completely because the manifestation is 100%. I always said you can download 99%, you're downloading 100. 99% you can still manifest, but it's going to be the 1% that is going to give you a friction, conditioning. And if you want a full abundance, you have to do it 100%. And it is a lifestyle, but it's not only a lifestyle, it's also a timeline. And since everything is happening through the higher consciousness with that structure, my suggestion is, if you can please do that, just try to implement it in your daily life. Try step by step in the beginning, to anybody with anything. Don't put the fear into it because you have to let go. In order to see it, you have to let go. Remember, in the quantum field, you have to know it, feel it, to project it, to become a reality for you, not the other way around.
I like the idea of playing with with this approach. And by that, I mean, for example, let's say I want to take a vacation to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to go and swim in the ocean and have a beautiful experience there. So already I'm talking about something that's uplifting to me, something enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I could use that as a way of playing with the idea of making it happen without having to spend any money or in other words, doing the conventional route is what I'm saying. I mean, it might be a big idea to play with, but why not?
No, it's not a big idea. Actually, it's a very normal idea when you know the field, because you manifest moment to moment, but when you manifest moment to moment is random. It's not directly the way you want it. Sometimes whatever it comes to you may not be exactly the red car or the blue, but will be something similar, whatever is basically relevant to you. So a lot of things we may want, but you have to be careful. Is this because of ego or because you want to show off in front of somebody? This is also another structure behind it. So if it's from the purity of the heart, of the giving and really sharing without a conditioning, and you really need it, then you will have synchronicities coming to you through the quantum field. That's manifestation we talk about, that will give you opportunity, maybe not to go to Hawaii, but maybe you can end up in a place that is Palm Beach and beautiful beaches and beautiful palm tree, and all of a sudden is much better than what you really expected to have in the first place, because you allow the quantum structure, the field to do its work, what is the best for you. But in order to perceive that reality, you have to be the vibration of it. You can't constantly put in condition into the field and expect everything to come to you the way you want it. It won't work this way.
Okay. I heard you say something in there, and this is where it gets kind of tricky for me. You see, that idea that I suggested about going to Hawaii for vacation, that was based on somebody really wanting to do that for fun, not so that they could take all kinds of selfies and post them on Facebook, to really enjoy the experience, right? Especially for somebody who might have normally a very uneventful life, mundane, dull, work every day, not having any enjoyment. And this is something that would be a dream for them. Anyway, but I also heard you say that if you do something for the benefit of other people, is that a condition that you're talking about? In other words, does it have to be something for the benefit of someone else? Why couldn't it be something for your own benefit, for your own upliftment, for your own enjoyment?
It's not only for the benefit of others, but we have to take away the self-absorption towards, because when you do it to others, you're projecting it. You're actually projecting frequency when your next momentum of the structure that you're creating and projecting is based on that. So if you don't want to have too many challenges with that, you have to do it towards others, not only you, because then that purity of frequency vibration is the one that you're projecting into the field. Because then you're separating from the selfishness, from the self-absorption. It's pure love. It's the purity. And you're looking for that purity structure. That's what you're looking. That is specific vibration, they told me. And that is the difference. The vibration of the monetary and the vibration of the heart is specifically absolutely different timeline, and different reality, different vibration. Totally different. This is more dense to condition. This is without a condition. This will give you to infinity probability of manifestation, that you're not limiting yourself. This is unlimitless. This is limitless. This is with limits because it's conditioned. And it may not be only money. You may say, in order for me to give that person something, well, I want something from you. No. Give the choice to that person to decide from the heart frequency what to give you, because that is the purity, that is the abundance, that's what you're looking for. It's completely different structure, completely different vibration, they told me. Because, and also, if that person that you have and you give your service to through your heart decide to not give you anything or use you, I also asked that because I had people that I knew they have something and they won't even leave you anything, they just use you. But in actuality, they told me, you be the beacon of the goodness. You be projecting this frequency all the time. You've done your job, your service. If that person had and decided to basically deprive you of something, because they still know that people still know that you're going through the monetary, they still know you have a family, they can always donate it if they wish to. But if that person had and did not donate it to you and try to use you, that frequency of the using somebody or overtaking energy stays in that person's reality, not in yours. You've done your job. In turn, because you projected only love and giving toward this person, you may have another person coming in and may give you double even for the person that end up using you. That's what they told me. Because I asked these questions, believe me, it looked like I was like losing my mind to sit at home and doing the stuff. But the only way for you to see that is to implement it. And that is why you're right, it's a lifestyle, but it's also a timeline. Because in order for us to see complete abundance in fifth dimensional Earth is an abundance timeline. It's not in conditioning timeline.
All right. I get it. I guess the challenge that I'm having is thinking of it as a timeline, because it's somewhat of an abstract for us. You know, we live in this reality. We have ways that we operate logically, we operate emotionally. And what I'm looking to do is tie this, what I consider to be something extremely left-brained, and how to do something, and tie it over to the right brain to be able to adopt it in a way that we normally operate. And like I say, through logic and emotion. And if I can find a balance in there somewhere, it'll help me in terms of the way I operate.
Well, it's correct. It's balance. It's not left or right. It's both of them. You got to incorporate the whole structure with that. Okay. Once you incorporate that, then you're going to see the wholeness of everything.
Right. And I guess that's not what I'm not hearing so much the wholeness from you as opposed to the how to, the challenges related to not operating that way. And I'd like to
Yes,
make
it is the wholeness you hear it. The wholeness is coming from the frequency of the heart.
Okay.
That's how you achieve the wholeness.
Okay.
Because in this is no condition. You basically imagine you open a Pandora box that everything is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine you just going to little part of some corner and that's all you get. Why not the entire whatever is in there? Why not the entire things that is in there? That's limiting. Conditioning is limiting. This, what I'm talking about, is the wholeness. Incorporate both of them, but through the giving, because you can still perceive money through the giving. You always do, because you're still going through the monetary and stuff like that. But the way you receive it is through the frequency of the heart. And all of a sudden, once you keep doing and doing, you start shifting and shifting, and you create a timeline that all of a sudden you may end up having a society that is based on giving and sharing. And I don't know how that may happen, but it will happen through our action, because consciousness itself knows how to do that. Sure. You basically may have a reality that you can have extraterrestrials coming in, build a city for one day, and literally tell us and give us a system, and they will connect with people that resonate and vibrate in their level of consciousness. That's why they say it is not important to us how famous you are in your fame and glory. It's going to be important what you do to others and what you do for humanity, because in order to do that, you have to incorporate. They don't incorporate stuff with money, but everything is with charity and with giving. Never once when they talk to me, I heard, oh, we're going to give you this information right now, Marina, but we ask for $100 for you. Every time they ask for me is devotion, of giving, of sharing. And every time I put my ego in front, because I had this moment, I'm going to get a smack in the face, and they're going to say, look what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Stop right now and switch your emotion and give everything out of your heart, even if it's one person that you're talking to. That is the devotion, and that is the challenge for everybody.
Right. And okay. I'm not done here yet.
You're not done. I'm done.
See, all right. So, I mean, this world is full of people who work for a living, who are good, hardworking, decent, honest, caring people to their families and friends. Some who might feel disenfranchised by the way the world works. But my point is that many people don't operate from the standpoint of giving to others, but that doesn't make them any less a good person.
No.
Okay. So I've been hearing a theme of giving to others, giving to others, giving to others. And yet what's so bad about carrying goodness in your life wherever you are with whomever you meet? Isn't that a good thing too?
Yeah, of course. I never said you can't do that, but we keep missing the fact that there's nobody outside of you.
Sure.
It doesn't matter what somebody is doing right now. Whatever you're seeing is important. How you vibrate. So you're going to end up creating a timeline that is with all abundance. That's the goal. You have to crystallize it, and you crystallize it when you yourself behave moment to moment to moment in that heart vibration. It doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. Again, we're talking quantum structure. So let's not forget the quantum structure. It doesn't matter if somebody is charging over there, is not charging over there. You're creating your own reality only to yourself for ascension. And what you're doing, you pull in structure from the previous reality so you have an experience. So you keep seeing some of these people, you keep seeing some of the stuff, but it doesn't have to be this way. If you keep vibrating and keep acting in a structure of giving and sharing, in turn, you're going to create your own ascension process. You're going to reprint some of these people in there, and you're going to have all of a sudden a reality with complete abundance. How is that reality going to happen? That we don't know. because the quantum structure is to infinity probabilities how something can manifest for you. So leave everything open and just give. And when something happens for money, or you have to pay your bills, you go to work, you pay your bills. After that, if you choose to do that the way they told me, the way they suggested, then you're going to crystallize more and more and more. Again, to see that abundance reality, you have to be the abundance. More you of it, more you get in. Whatever is more than the other. If you do more of the money, you're going to crystallize eventually more of the money, because the new frequencies that are coming in, they're based on a hard structure. So you're not matching. So you better catch that train to see it, because the frequencies are increasing more and more. And I never said there's not work. We have to do the work, and it's very challenges, a lot of challenges. And if you don't challenge yourself, keep in mind that you chose to come in this planet. It's an ascension process. So there we go, a new level. If you want to implement it, be my guest. I would love to see that. You know, it's a new reality, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. So monetary system, complete abundance could be through anything. You can have a monetary system with complete abundance to all the scientists. We build a free energy, free technology, and all of a sudden within 5 years, we don't need a monetary system anymore. It's based on, for example, Michael Tellinger is talking about Ubuntu, you know, how you producing 1 to 3 and how you exchange that. It's interesting to see his lecture on Ubuntu projects. And it's interesting. So there is a way of doing it. You just have to implement it. That's all I have to say for today.
With that said, I feel rather than just putting the information out there and expecting it to be fully received, my intention was to provide some considerations for you to address. So thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for helping.
Sure.
As always. All right. Thank you, guys. Any questions, you can always through Facebook, email, on my marinajacobi.com. You can always go into my website and look at the latest stuff. Pretty soon we're going to do more videos with Joe, and we're going to post it. So thanks for watching, and thank you so much, Joe.
Marina's work is brought to you through generous donations. If you would like to contribute your support, you can visit www.marinajacobi.com. Also, be sure to scroll down on the homepage and join Marina's mailing list so you can keep up with her latest activities.